Now, what would happen if you mixed an action RPG and a survival game into one? Well, you'd get something like Enshrouded, which has recently released its brand new update, Wake of the Water. This is a game we've always kept an eye on because it has a bunch of things that we love about action games, like cool weapons, multiplayer, combat, and survival aspects, adding a whole new spin on it that we typically don't experience. So thanks to Keen Games for sponsoring this video, we got to check out the latest update and tell you about some of the cool stuff in it, which if you like greatswords, then you'll be pretty happy to hear about it. So let's jump in and tell us below, have you played the game before or not, because it's looking like a pretty good time to jump in. You see, Enshrouded is a co-op survival action RPG that actually allows you to play with up to 16 players. Players will be taking on the role of a Flameborn, which we know from the story that the Flameborn are a dying race, making your journey through the game their last hope. The game is all about adventuring out into the world and reclaiming your lost kingdom, and exploring the mysteries of the world while also taking down bosses. In this game, you have to scavenge for resources, grow stronger, level up, and even battle out in the wilds, which has a massive range of creatures and monsters, which has been expanded throughout the game's 7 major updates. You aren't just left out there in the world though, as you also have the ability to build and craft using what the developers call powerful voxel building tools. You will want to do this as you'll be able to craft better gear and tools, as well as recruit NPCs that will aid you in your journey, giving you access to new mechanics and features. And honestly, who doesn't want to build a badass base of operations? This is another one of the really cool things about this new update. It actually lets you build underwater bases that we will talk about in a minute. The game isn't just about building though, as it also features an in-depth and extensive combat system that allows you to play the role of a wizard, ranger, or warrior. The core mechanics of the game function kind of like an action RPG. You can duke it out with enemies and bosses, there's dodges, parries, and even ways to cast your own powerful spells. Defeating these enemies and bosses though creates a nice gameplay loop, which we know a lot of you on the channel are already fans of, whereby you can take things that enemies drop and use them to craft powerful upgrades, weapons, and armor. Now in this latest update, enemies even have a chance to drop gear directly up to the legendary rarity, meaning if you're lucky or just really good at the game, you can claim some of the best gear by just defeating your foes. Something that we really appreciate about Enshrouded is that while it's an early access game, they seem to always be doing right by those who have bought the game. They're constantly listening, implementing community feedback, and adding in these huge new updates. This is the 7th major edition, adding tons of new content, often new maps, entire biomes, weapons, enemy types, and more. So I feel like Enshrouded has quite a lot of value to offer across its time in early access so far. This new update, Wake of the Water, is a major new addition to the game, perhaps their most ambitious one yet. It adds fully simulated dynamic water, adding a whole new flavor to exploration and tons more verticality to the game because you can actually swim and dive now. This is something that all Flameborn will get access to without having to unlock it, but note you will have to manage your oxygen. It's not just water as well, it's basically a whole new underwater biome called the Veilwater Basin. These areas are filled with ruins to explore, forgotten temples, and it's basically a dense tropical forest with large lakes and rivers spread throughout. But note there is also a new enemy type added into this biome, known as the Hateful Drac. It is generally worth the risk as there's several new resources to be found amongst the trees and below the water, and that also includes new recipes, new farm animals, survivors, and skill points to find. They say our brand new update adds dynamically simulated water to Enshrouded, as well as an entire new playground filled with watery goodness and scaly evil. The Veilwater Basin, located between the Black Mire and the Albaneve summits, this new high-level area is full to the brim with beautiful beaches, forgotten temples, underwater ruins, and much more. Wake of the Water is our most ambitious update so far, and the changelog is significant, so strap in as you're gonna be here for a while. And honestly, it's really cool. If you've been playing or following Enshrouded for a while, it's amazing exploring these new underwater areas and seeing how good the water looks now. It makes the whole world feel way more alive and exciting to explore again. Furthermore, new water areas have also been added to the other biomes of Embervale. From naturally occurring ponds and lakes to larger bodies of water, even the early game areas have been tweaked with smaller bodies of water, meaning the new biome is fully integrated across the world. And it's not just pretty water to go swimming in as well. It adds a new layer of challenge and ways to get those exclusive resources and new loot. Your oxygen is limited, although certain items and food can help improve it, so you're going to need to weigh up the risk versus reward while searching for loot chests and more things in the depths of these new lakes. It's also good to know you can't use weapons or engage in combat while you're underwater, but many of the new underwater enemies can, making for some quite tense moments if you get caught off guard. So maybe don't try baiting enemies into the water or going in thinking it will purely be a cakewalk, because you are somewhat vulnerable while swimming. And perhaps one of the craziest things is that because the water is fully simulated, you can redirect the flow of the water to create new rivers, canals, and waterways. It's not just static, it opens up new base building opportunities and world building opportunities, which in a game like this has so much potential because of so many of the amazing community creations that are already out there. Several new tools and placeable props themed around water have also been added into the game, with water wheels, water gates, and more. The building system is already very impressive, so I really can't wait to see someone redirect a river to make a waterfall base or something like that. And it's not even over yet, because with the new types of walls that you can build, you can make underwater bases, which is just so cool. If anyone was dreaming of making their own Atlantis-style base, well, you can basically do that now. I for one had a ton of fun exploring this lake that had the ginormous bones of a huge dragon in it. It is really just something special for any fantasy lovers. And for any life skill enjoyers out there, fishing has also been added in as a new activity, and it's a great source of materials for cooking and crafting. There are specific fishing spots for certain kinds of catches, and there's different types of bait that you can use as you progress. But one of the biggest updates in Wake of the Water is also the addition of a brand new weapon type, the greatsword. If you've ever wanted to just hit some meaty chops, well, you're in luck. The devs heard the community asking for it and added in new skills for two-handed weapons as well, with one of them being a spin to win move, so you can just mow down enemies easily. There's tons of other additions, tweaks, and changes. It is truly a massive update, and to be honest, for me, it's one that makes the game feel fresh once again. So if you've already played it a ton in the past, or if it's your first time, it is a great time to jump in, and we will have a link down below if you want to check the game out. Honestly, Enshrouded has always been a blast, and with this update, it's just got better. A quick like below is a great way to support us, and subscribe for more videos on your favorite games coming very, very soon. Here at Arix Gaming, we're two friends who love to play games. You have me, Paradise, as well as 26.
Our goal is to keep the videos as concise as possible by cutting out any of the fluff and focusing on what really matters with high quality videos.
So make sure you're subscribed down below for more videos on your favorite games coming very, very soon.